Thank you for joining us today. The conversation is centered around men being intimidated by women who earn more money than them. Something that was brought to me recently about PME, something I didn't know was actually out there, but is it actually a thing?
I mean, I think it's a thing. I think majority of men are definitely, I think majority of men are threatened by women who earn more money, but purely because of her expectations and not believing that they can live up to those expectations.
Expectations shouldn't really depend on money. Your expectations are expectations regardless of money. So I think some men are. I don't think it's majority. I think a lot of the time you have to look at who you're picking as a partner. So I think it's just some men. It's not all men, and your expectations shouldn't be a thing of money.
But I think expectations could range from being able to, I don't know, ensure that all your laundry goes to the dry cleaners every week.
You can't wash your clothes by yourself?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying expectations could range from something that would require money. Expectations could be that I want my children to go to private school. Money. It could be I want to be able to go on holiday and live a comfortable life. Money. So I think it would be naive to separate expectations from money. I'm not saying that there are not going to be other expectations, i.e. loving me, being attentive, contributing to the domestic parts of the home and what have you. But there is going to be money involved. Okay. That is going to be part of an expectation.
Okay. And if I can do all of that and you still earn more than me, but I can do all of that, what's the issue?
What I was saying earlier was about the level of expectation that she has. I'm saying that there is a direct connection between how much money a woman makes and her expectations. So if she's on £150,000, her expectations will generally be more than an expectation of a woman that is on minimum wage.
But I think you also have to be very realistic. If she's on 150k, that's not that's not an average or just above average salary for a lot of people. Once you're in that bracket, you're in the upper like
upper tier.
Yeah, the upper tier. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? So I just think your expectations are your expectations. If you want your partner to fulfill those expectations and you say it to him in the beginning, if he feels like he can, then cool, you move forward. If you feel like it's not happening, then you move on. I don't think it's an intimidation thing. I think the men that do get intimidated by that are men that know deep down that they have some issues or they're weak or whatever. I don't think most guys generally get intimidated by women who earn more money.
I don't know. I think it's very easy for men to say that a man who is threatened is insecure or he's weak. I think sometimes in a situation where, let's use, for example, you're on like £40,000 and your woman's on like £100,000. There's a massive difference. So her standard of living or what she requires or what she wants to get is going to be very different to what you want to get and what you can afford. So for example, right? So we're not saying that how she's in your face and saying, yeah, I'm earning more money than you, but sometimes it's just in your face and it can't be denied. For example, now, if you want to purchase a home, she's going to say, okay, babe, you know what? We can purchase this home because, it's affordable for me or for us because together, collectively, we have 140k in the pot. Yeah. For example, if you say you're going to purchase a car now, so she's going to have a standard of the certain kind of car that she can purchase. There are times where she's going to put in a bit more than you. There are times where she's going to say stuff like, oh, don't worry, babe, I've got this covered. Or don't worry, babe, I can pay this a bit more, or I can add in a bit more. So there are times where it's just evident. It's in your face. And sometimes you can feel a bit of uncertainty and uneasiness when you feel like your woman is kind of taking your position, because everyone has a position, in your relationship, in a friendship, in a siblingship, whatever. There's a position that you play. And when you feel like your position is being compromised, it can make you feel a bit...
I think personally, we've almost got into a situation of two people cohabiting or where they're married or what have you. Take it a step back.
Okay.
Take it a step back. Let's talk about the dating stage before you even get to the marriage stage, right? So you've got a situation where a woman's earning £100,000, the guy's earning £40,000. Her standard of living is far beyond. The way she thinks is beyond. The way she thinks is £100,000 type. Because she knows she's going to be getting that weekly salary, that monthly salary. So she wants to go to a Michelin star restaurant.
And she's gone and found herself a man that's
exactly.
not.
Exactly.
But that's because a woman that then goes out and seeks a man that's £150,000 is coined as a gold digger.
No
way.
We talked about this earlier.
No way.
We talked about the situation when a woman wants a man who
Shall I tell you why it's different this time? Because what you didn't say last time is that the woman's on that is on 100
Completely
grand.
different situation.
How it sounded was that a woman earning next to nothing or whatever is now going to ask, I need my man to be earning this, but you're not there. You're down here, but you need your man up here. What you just said is that you're up here, but you need someone
around that.
Who's the same as you. Yeah.
I fully agree, because ultimately, if you're on 100K and you know your lifestyle's like this, your lifestyle's like, and then you go down to the guy that's on the average 30 for whatever it is, that's a decision you're making. So now you can't now come bring to him, oh, this is my standard of living. You can be like, look, this is what I'm used to. Mm-hmm. Level up.
Okay. So I will say this. When it comes to black people.
You can say that. That's fine.
There's black people and women and black men and black women in the UK.
Yes.
Majority, I believe that on average, the woman is making more than a man.
Okay.
Do you therefore know how difficult it is for a woman who is making a certain amount of money to then be able to find a man that is making more than her?
I don't know if that's true.
I'm not aware.
I think it's extremely difficult.
I don't know.
Very
it is extremely difficult.
I don't know. I'm not going to say it's wrong. I'm not going to say
that.
what you're saying is wrong, but I don't know if it's true either. Do you know what I'm saying? But again, it all comes down to the whole, why is the money aspect, like, because ultimately we're late 20s, early 30s. So the scope to earn more is still very much there. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you're earning this amount of money and then there's a guy earning this amount of money, in a dating stage, me personally, money shouldn't even, when you're getting to know each other, you're getting to know the person, you're not getting to know their salaries. Do you get what I'm saying?
But you know that money is one of the biggest reasons why people get divorced. So it has to.
In marriage.
It has
that
conversation about it.
Personally,
It's a massive conversation.
I want to know on average. I don't need to know the exact figure, but I would like to know exactly like what my man is making.
And if he's not making enough,
your man,
you walk away.
Wait, hold on.
That's a choice that you have to make.
No, but I'm asking her personal. I want to know her personal opinion.
Your man. You said your man.
My man.
If I get your number today, and then if I get your number
Listen
today,
to the man. Let the man finish.
Listen, stranger things have happened, didn't it? So listen, if I get your number today, and then I say, look, we're going out next week, whatever. Like, as far as you're concerned, it's just about getting to know each other. Is this person a good fit or whatever? Money shouldn't even be a thing then. The more serious you get, then you could be like, look, these are my expectations as a woman. This is what I like. And then if I feel like I can't do that, if I feel like it's not something that I'm down with, then I can be like, nah. And then you then have a decision to keep going with me or to go your way.
There's a trap there, though.
Not really.
There is a trap.
What's the trap?
Because majority, when we, as you said, most of us are late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
A man that wants to go and take out a woman is not going to take her to Nando's on average.
I will take a woman to Nando's.
You may, but the vast majority is not going to start dating or pursuing a woman where you're going to what we would describe as a basic place.
Why
They're
not?
going to want to, usually, how many first dates have I been to where it was on Nando's? Not many.
Listen.
So, hang on, let me just finish my point. So, what I'm saying is that the problem with that is that I believe there's a trap there. A man usually starts at a level and then regresses. And at that point, before he regresses, the woman's already caught feelings. It's a trap. It's a trap. Let's talk about the idea that you started with buying flowers, and then two months down the line, you stop. The woman then
Just
accommodates.
after 2 months.
Or whatever. But the point is, remember when I said earlier, a woman is created, designed, is embedded in her to be patient.
But if we go back to your initial point where you said that I'm on £100,000 and the man is on £40,000, that's an incredible example for us to use, because you're not going to be, the man's not even thinking that 100 grand. So he's not even on your level. So he's going to get dismissed. If there's a closer salary difference between the two, why would there be any situation or any feeling of intimidation when you're probably earning maybe just £10,000 more than me? And
I'll ask that question. I'll ask that question because often the case when you're talking about salary, the higher the salary that you have, the higher your role may be. Okay. So you may have more expectation. You may have more demands. You may be a manager of many. You may be in a position of authority, and it's very easy. Because I personally believe that in order to have those type of roles, it's about who you are as a person. Therefore, if you are in a role where you are accountable for people, where where your decision is final, where the buck lies with you, then it's very easy for that to transpose into your relationship. Okay. And where it becomes a problem is when that man isn't at that level, where he's not used to being with a woman who makes demands at work, up and down, commanding people.
But that's at work.
But what I'm saying is that those roles, in order to get those roles, it's got to be about who you are as a person. You don't get there by chance. Those people don't survive.
I hear that, but there's also got to be that point where work is work. Like, if you're at work and you've got all these people under you and you're speaking to them a certain way, you have expectations of them, like you have a certain expectation of them. You now can't come home and then speak to your man the same way and still talk to him like he's one of your subordinates. It's never going to happen. And that's not, wait, hold on. That's not a money thing. That's just a basic respect thing. That's just
But as a manager, you're meant to respect whoever's under you. It's not about, just because you're under me doesn't mean that you're
I hear that.
less.
But, okay, I've got a great example. My little sister, she does very well for herself. She's 28. She's worked at Deloitte for however many years, and she's now left, but that's besides the case. Like, when she speaks to people at work, in the position she was in, it's very much like, no, you do this. This is what I want. Boom, boom, boom. It's not a conversation. Do you get what I'm saying? There was a point in time when she used to come home talking to me like that, and then I used to have to just shut that down straight away, because you're not at work. It's not a case of I'm your elder or whatever. It's a thing of just speak to me like I'm a normal person who's actually something to you. Because at work, they're your colleagues. I'm not your colleague. So don't come home and talk to me like your colleague. That's where the intimidation thing might, or the problems might start. It's got nothing to do with your wages. It's more of a thing of how you're talking to me, how you're interacting with me. Does it make sense? No?
Yeah. And that's exactly what I was saying.
Definitely.
It's like, it comes down to the fact of, if you're earning more money than me, that's fabulous. You've done fantastic, pat on your back. But at the same time, respect me as your partner. I would never, that's like I was saying before, if I earn more than my woman, there's no way I should feel like there's a certain standard that she has to meet because of what I'm earning. I don't understand why there has to be a correlation between how we're treating each other in home and because of the salary that I'm making.
That could be because the woman who may be making more money still subconsciously believes that a man should provide for her.
No, 100%.
But then you've chosen someone that's not in a position to do that for you. Whose decision was that? Mine or yours?
But then, what I said earlier was about this trapping. So men have been trapping women since day dot with this idea. We've not been able to sustain what they started. And so you get into a situation where you are with, firstly, you don't talk about salary. It's not something that we are encouraged to do. So you don't talk about salary. Okay. So you go by certain things. So you go by where he takes me, what he looks like, his shoes, watch, car he drives. And the truth of it is that most men are driven by.
Why do you keep saying most?
Most
you know what I mean?
men.
This is whole. This whole.
Where are your statistics?
Okay, fair enough. Some men.
Thank you.
That could be most, but some men are they do also want to look good. They want to look good. They want to drive that nice car. So because men measure themselves by how much they earn, majority of the time they do. I was speaking to someone earlier, and I was giving this analogy of 10-year reunion. 10-year reunion, university reunion, or what have you. And it's a group of girls, and the girl says, "Oh, what have you been up to?" And the girl says, "Oh, I got married and had 2 kids." And it's like, wow, it's amazing. The man can say that, and it's all right if he's talking to his peers, his male peers. It's still all right, but actually, it's the ones that are gonna say that I've got a company that is doing really well and it's turning over this amount of millions. That is going to be like, yeah, this man's a boss. So,
and if he's a piece of crap.
And the point I'm trying to make is that men do measure themselves by how much they earn equally. So the problem that I have with some men, with some men, is that they start something that they cannot continue. And by that time, because of the woman and the way some women and the way that they are brought up to endure, to be patient, and to build with. I don't know how many times one has told me, find a man that you can build with.
No, that's still the case.
Building blocks.
No, it's
cement and bricks.
It's still the case.
Every day is building.
I think
I did not go out the construction.
But what is that? Where's the aspect of us being intimidated?
Because when a woman then starts having expectations, I think expectations are very dangerous. When they have expectations, and those expectations are not measured, it creates this dynamic between 2 people where intimidation could. I don't think
expectations are wrong, to be honest. So if your expectations are your expectations are your expectations, your expectations are your expectations. So if this is what you want, I can't come to you and tell you that's wrong. Yeah. It's your expectations. Yep. If you tell me this is what I want, this is what I expect, if I can't get down with that, then I'm just like, cool, I'm out.
But you're talking about when 2 people are coming together. I'm talking about expectations whilst you're in a relationship.
No, it's still the same thing, because
then we are in a situation we're in now.
It's still the same thing, because
in and out of relationships because of
it's still the same thing. But like
on your way,
do you get what I'm saying? Like there's certain things which shouldn't be like your expectations of what you want from a man shouldn't be a conversation while you're in a relationship. It should be the conversation when you're getting to know. When you're in the relationship, it should be, okay, my expectation of how we're going to move forward, my expectation of how we're going to make things better is this. How are we going to work? So you might be on 100K and then I might be on 40. It's not going to be a conversation of, I expect a man to be on 100K. It might be a conversation of how are we going to get to 80? How are we going to get to 50? How are we going to get to 60? And then you just keep building. And that's my interpretation of building. Do you get what I'm saying? My interpretation of building ain't building up your man. It's building a life together. No?
No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I think I just hit that. I think I really just nailed that one.
It's a joint effort. It's a joint effort. I mean, when you're in a situation where you're now finally in that relationship, again, I don't understand this idea of this is mine and that is yours. We're now a team. So why are we not thinking as a union? Why are we not thinking collectively? And it's like, if you know that I am not capable of meeting your expectations, tell me to go away.
But how do you know whether you're not capable? How can I determine that you are not capable?
You've told me you're on 100 grand.
Yep.
I'm on 40.
Yep.
We're not in the same league. At this moment in time.
Are you capable of making 100 grand? Is the question.
It's possible.
Exactly.
Are you going to be patient enough for me to get there? Well, or are you going to tell me there's a time?
Well,
no, but at the same time,
some people sometimes start with the
Can I just back you up here?
Oh.
Can I just back you up here? At the same time, I get it where you have to be patient, but there comes a point where both sides actually, where it's just like, okay, I've been patient. Like, enough is enough, isn't it? Like, you either up it now or I go. And that's when you normally get into those situations where there's an ultimatum, where if this doesn't happen, I'm going. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so you can say be patient, but some guys just don't have it in them to just want to do more or want to be more. And with those guys, it's now a thing of, I've tried, I've been patient, now I've got to leave, or
100%.
I've got to leave, because if you choose to stay, it's a pattern that you know what you're already getting. If you then choose to stay, I don't want to hear no complaints about why you want more money, because we established this however long ago, and you still decided to stay.
But hang on, but where is the drive for the man to say, this woman wants this,
That's
and
on them.
I can't beat you?
That's
That's
on
not
them.
I agree.
I check out.
No.
I can't give. I have started off. I check out.
No man is gonna be like, this woman is a good woman. She's got 100k. I don't have the drive to fulfill what she needs. But let me go, because as far as I'm concerned, I've got a good woman. No man ever does that.
Do you know what that makes you?
No.
That makes you what do they call it? A leech.
Of course.
To a leech.
Of course.
That's not a good thing.
And it makes you a weak man.
They're leeches.
I'm not saying that's me, you know.
They're leeches.
I'm not saying that's me.
but-
I'm not saying that's me, but no one, it's the same if the situation is flipped. Like, if a man says, I need my woman to be doing this, I need my woman to be doing that, and you're not doing it, but he's a good man, you live a good life or whatever, no woman is going to be like, I can't live up to those expectations. Let me leave this nice life. Let me leave this nice man. It's not going to happen. So that's when the onus is on the person to be like, look, I'm leaving you because me in this comfortable position, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to say, oh no, you deserve that. Yeah, piss off. Never. Am I allowed to say that? Yeah. So like, no one's going to do that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
For me, I think it's not just about expectations or a woman throwing it in a man's face. I think because of how society has created men to be the breadwinners, and because now it's normal, it has become normalized. Everyone knows that, a man should be a man should be the breadwinner of the home. So when it becomes, it's unnormal, it's not even about a woman throwing it in your face or disrespecting you. Sometimes it's on a man himself.
But he's still earning. He's still earning.
He's still earning, but he's not earning as much. Sometimes a man can feel a bit
what does
like,
as much
can I ask a
I'm not
question?
doing certain things.
What does as much mean? He's still earning.
He's still earning.
But because as what?
But you're missing the point, Gabriel.
What's the point?
Because your woman is on a certain level and her requirements is going to be different to yours, and she can do certain things that you are unable to do.
At this moment in time,
sometimes you feel very different and uneasy.
But then and
that is on the man, and that's the point that
how much I am earning.
That is the point I'm trying to make.
You
can't, because men tend to flip it on women. You're being disrespectful. It's not even about that. How do you feel as a man when your woman is earning more money than you and doing certain things that you are unable to do?
And there are certain men, me personally, proper doesn't even bother me, to be totally honest with you. Proper doesn't bother me. But there are certain men who I know for a fact, if a woman is earning more than them, they feel very insecure. They feel very intimidated because they attached that money to almost like a power thing. But that's because that's what they're putting their energy into.
Let me flip it on its head then. Men, would you date? Would you be intimidated to go and speak to, approach, toast, whatever the case may be, a woman who was driving a Bentley?
No.
You know, it's not even a factor of being intimidated. It's just, in my mind, I would have to make sure that, you know what, I'm coming correct. I'm not, this is someone that they know what they're doing. I need to be able to present myself to let them know that I know what I'm doing too, and I know where I'm going.
So you won't be intimidated?
No, there wouldn't be an intimidation. There'll be an aspect of me realizing I have to come at this correctly. You're not just going to go there and make a fool of yourself.
Listen,
you have to approach the situation with a lot of thought. Because this is a serious woman.
So ultimately what you're saying is that a correct man would not be intimidated by a woman, but we do know.
You have to come.
You will know.
It's the same,
men that are not. You will know.
It's the same way.
Men that are not
it's
correct.
the same way. If I came to talk to you, I would know I have to come correct.
Yeah.
If there was a woman I could see she's a somebody or whatever, I also have to come correct. So long I know there's no woman here in this world that if you don't come at correct, they won't give you the time of day. She might not like you. She might not want to take it further, but if you come at her correct, she'll listen to what you've got to say. If by the time she's listened to if by the time she's heard you, she thinks, no, this ain't my thing, then you go your separate ways.
So why do we not see men who are from the onset where it's clear that they are not making as much money as a woman going for those women?
That's something.
No, you do. But at the same time, you also have to... No, you do. Because men love a woman who...
Oh.
Men. No. I'm telling you right now. No, wait.
Finish the sentence.
If you see a woman who is like, she's somebody, she's got... Men love that. I love it.
But how
Do you get what I'm saying?
I think they like the idea. I think men like the idea
regardless,
the reality of it?
Regardless
it's
if
so
it's
sweet.
the idea or the reality, because at the time when you're seeing her, it's literally just a first contact thing. When you start talking, that's where the intimidation might. But if you see her, you're just like, yeah, no, this is what I want, and you're gonna go and talk to her more time. You know, as a man, if you make a girl laugh, you're halfway there anyway.
We're that simple.
If
We're clearly that simple.
If you make a girl,
that's
no. That's if you make halfway there.
Halfway.
No, wait, listen. When I say halfway there, I don't mean halfway there to getting the girl. You're halfway to actually getting her attention for a prolonged period of time. Do you get what I'm saying? It's fact.
Not everybody, not all men are comedians, so just stick to your own hustle, innit?
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. But if you go and you see a woman that you like, you're always gonna approach her. But what you also have to understand is that a lot of women aren't receptive. A lot of women can see straight away that, or they make judgments in their mind of what this guy is and whatever. And that's the level of respect or attention they give them. Do you get what I'm saying? Because if I came to you now and you said to me, what do you do? And I'm like, I stack shelves at Tesco. I'm not going to lie to you. You're going to be like, okay, you talk to me. But in your mind, you've probably already written me off. But if I come and say to you, I'm an accountant, I might not be as good as like speaking to you as that person who stacks shelves. But I'll have more of your attention.
I don't know if that's the case. Because
Can we stop
I
this
think
show, please? If we're not going to be honest.
That's too much you've got to say right now.
Because I think what we find is a lot of women. I have a lot of friends whose men I would not have put them up against. I have a lot of friends whose men are stacking shelves.
And then there are lots of women.
Time of day.
And there are lots of women who have men who are doing something, but when they first got with them, they might have been stacking shelves. Do you get what I'm saying?
So that comes with the patience, isn't it? Exactly what I said. It's about this idea.
But there's also a lot of men who are with women. There are also a lot of men who are with women who weren't on 100k when they first got into the relationship.
Yeah, but there's a lot of men who don't believe that women should be on 100k.
No.
Nah, that's it's a whole other argument. How do we get here?
I don't want your partner to do well.
How do we get here?
Doing well. There's doing well and being and doing
Listen,
excess.
I will never understand a situation where a man would not want his woman to excel. I don't understand.
Beyond their means, there are plenty of men that do that.
Nah.
Wow.
There are plenty of men. I'll give you an example. I
This
got a
world is
car.
fried, I'm telling you.
I bought a car within. Sorry?
No,
I bought a car and my friend we both bought brand new cars.
Okay.
And some of the guys, and actually I think it was our mothers, that said, be careful, because the men that you would have potentially got before may not approach you because of the car that you're driving.
You have a nice car. But what kind of advice is that, please?
No, forget the advice. What kind of man is that? Like,
But that is because when some of the time men approach, when they see a woman doing well, they recognize that she is going to have expectations that are beyond me.
And some men will look at that woman
and are intimidated by that.
Yeah.
Whereas some men may see that and say, right, because I know where I'm going, I know what the outcome. In the next 5 years, in the next 2 years, we'll pursue that.
Mm-hmm.
What I can agree with you about is the fact that a lot of men will look at that scenario and think, no, I can't do that. No, she's got too much power. No, and then they just fold. But
that's intimidation.
Yeah, no, 100%. But that's on them. That's not the woman. You ain't done. If that's you ain't done anything wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
You ain't done anything wrong.
I bought the car and I even rolled down the windows and blasted my own music. I was proud.
Yeah, no. That's
the car that I drove. I was cool.
That's on the man. If the man now looks at you and thinks, oh no, you know what? Let me just go into my. I can't possibly. Then you just leave that man alone. I'm alright with. If in this moment I'm on 40k. I'm all right with that because I know I have ambition. I know what my end goal is. So then I might not get to 100k. And even when I do get to 100k, she might be on 200k. But I'm always evolving. I'm always trying to bridge the gap. I'm always trying to make things better. And from when a woman, I truly believe, if a woman sees that, it becomes less about the money.
Yeah.
And more about, oh, right, this guy's got drive.
Yeah.
He's doing all he can to actually, so that when the rainy seasons do come in, I know that I can trust my man to actually hold the fort down. I think that's what it comes down to, and less about the, you know, I'm earning more than him. And but if a man's not doing that, if you can't look at your man and think, if my money was to stop, would this guy be able to like do it? I think that's where the woman starts to doubt, and now she now starts to talk to him and whatever, and then it just sends on like, do you know what I'm saying? So I think you as a man, if you're doing what you're supposed to do in terms of evolving and always keeping up and always pushing your woman, she's always pushing you, and you're doing those things, and you know, you're always finding a way to make sure your woman's happy, then I think the money aspect just comes out.
Thank you so much, Fiona. Thank you so much, Dapo, for coming. You guys have made a massive, massive contribution.
For sure.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe and make a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment.